Good morning. Today is Friday, the 11th of January, 2013. Here's the news it's worth talking about in Panama today. The president or the executives of the Financial Pacific Company filed a criminal complaint against the superintendent of market securities named Alejandro Abud Alfaro, supposedly for violations related to abuse of authority and the infraction of not performing his duty as a public servant. That you have this exchange of complaints between the superintendent of market securities, who's accusing the company of things like fraud and not properly managing the company, and then the executives of the company are accusing him. So they're in different sections of the public ministry with different prosecutors. There's now like 5 different complaints that have been filed in this case. One for the guy who's missing, one by the executives of the company against their employees for the fraud and theft. There was a complaint filed by a group of workers, I believe from the Social Security office, who had their money invested, and they were one of the people that had money that went away in the fraud. So anyway, it's a big mess, and they're still trying to figure it out. Okay, over to the Panama America. They're saying they come out, the SINAPROC, the system of civil protection, releases this warning every month. They're saying that starting from today until next Wednesday, the 16th of January, there will be higher than normal tides on the Panamanian Pacific coast. Now, it's a normal, the normal monthly up and down of the tide, which gets higher or lower, and it always turns out that when they issue one of these warnings, then this weekend, the chances of somebody getting killed on a beach in Panama by drowning are higher. So, look for that next week, that somebody is not going to pay attention to this warning. They'll go into the water without taking the proper precautions. They'll be sucked off the beach by riptide and drowned. It happens almost every month. Well, we'll see. Hopefully that it won't happen this month. All right. In the Estrella, once again, the Cambio Democrático had a series of meetings the last couple of days, and they have decided to set their primary election for May. And all of the political analysts are recognizing that the Cambio Democrático doesn't have an obvious candidate for the 2014 elections. They wanted to get the former administrator of the Panama Canal, Alberto Alemán Zubieta. He wasn't interested. They tried to get Alberto Vallarino. He wasn't interested. So now they're going to go back to the internal of their own party and try to come up with a candidate to replace Ricardo Martinelli. I know who my pick would be: Lucy Molinar. I think that would be hilarious. Not hilarious. I think she'd win, but I don't think even if she did win the primary election, I doubt that she would get the support. She's been butting heads with Martinelli. She's been on the verge of resigning the entire time she's been in his administration, and that's what makes her the perfect candidate, because she's not seen as part of his group, or it wouldn't be seen as just it would almost be an entire change. But that would be cool to see Lucy running as a presidential candidate. I think she might win. Okay. Over to the Critica. They presented a bill. This is funny. They presented a bill in the National Assembly to legalize Panama's return to the Central American Parliament. If you'll remember, right when Martinelli got in office, he tried to pull Panama out of the Parlacen because he wanted to go after Martín Torrijos. But now that he's getting towards the end of his stay in office, and also the Supreme Court decided that leaving the Parlacen would be unconstitutional or illegal, or basically they couldn't do it. So now they're going to go back into the Parlacen in order to give Martinelli immunity for at least 5 years after he's out of office. So that's cool. Nice for that to happen. All right, and in the Telemetro, they gave a report on the total drug busts for the year of 2012. They busted a total of 35 tons of coke, and that's normal for this time. In 2009 and 2010, they busted 54 tons each. Let me see. Last year, whatever. It was a little bit less. And then this year it was 35. So their efforts of battling or trying to bust the drug trafficking in Panama are working. Therefore, they end up getting less drugs because the drug traffickers are doing something else. And now that they've got more patrol boats and radars and planes and helicopters and stuff, and they're having more success, and they're still busting 35 tons a year, which is a good amount of coke. All right. Let me see. Okay, Fabrica, the government minister, is today. He's going to announce the list of things that they're going to do for Cologne. This goes back to the demonstrations that started in Cologne after they were going to pass the law to sell the land of the Cologne Free Trade Zone. Then the people in Cologne protested, and then they pulled that law back down. Then they went and had some talks. Well, now the government is going to come out today with their list of responses to the demands or the complaints of the people in Cologne. Okay, over to the Siglo. It's called the AUD. It's the guys who pick up the garbage. They say they are owed $100 million between them and the private companies that they contract. And, they're in the process of trying to go about collecting that money. There are people who've never paid for garbage collection in this town. They're trying to tie it all together to the electric bill. Because the electric company is better than anybody else, that if you don't pay your bill, then click, they turn it off. So they're trying to tie all of these bills together so that if you don't pay for the garbage collection, then click, they turn off your power. It's like, oh crap, well I guess I better go pay for the garbage collection. So that's the movement on that, and I believe they'll probably get it, and then they'll get their $100 million that they're owed. Over to Mi Diario, there are complaints, or people are saying that the workers on the My Bus, the new Metro bus system, that at night what they do is they turn off the system so that they let people ride the bus for free. And the rumor has it, or the people are saying anyway, that this is just the bus drivers are trying to convince the company to give them a raise. And to raise their pay up to $800 a month, so they're doing this as a means to pressure the company. And then over in Dia Dia, there's a guy that was killed in Samaria yesterday, Carlos Mosquera. There were actually 3 murders in Panama yesterday. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm out. That's all the news it's worth talking about today. Today is the 11th of January, 2013, Friday. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Bye.